Video will talk about break-even analysis. And now I'm going to talk about break-even definition. The break-even point is a milestone where the company must reach before earning profit. At this point, there is no loss and no profit. It also tells the company how much they need to produce to cover the startup and fixed costs. It is used when the market is already stable enough that there are almost no factors to influence the cost or price.
Before knowing how to calculate break-even, you must know some keywords. First is total cost. Total cost is the total of fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost refers to the cost that remains the same, like capital or rental fee. And variable cost refers to the cost which changes as more product is produced. Then is total revenue. Total revenue equal to price times quantity. And then is profits. Profits are the difference between total revenue and total cost. Lastly, contribution. Contribution is the difference between total revenue and variable cost, as well as the total of profits and fixed costs. After understanding some important words, let's introduce the formula. There are two ways to find the break-even point. One is directly find the point where total revenue is equal to the total cost. The other is to calculate the quantity of output using the total fixed cost divided by contribution.
We have choose two questions to teach you how to calculate the break-even point and also the margin of safety. And these questions are all from our real exam. Question 1. Jason charged his clients £13 per hour for his service, and on average, each client requires 2 hours of Jason's time. In 2021, Jason had 835 client visits. Variable costs for the business are relatively low at just £2 per client. Jason's annual fixed costs in 2021 were $30,000. Using the information provided, calculate the number of clients Jason needs per year in order for his business to break even. So first step, we need to read through the question just like what I have done and organize all the information. So the price is £13 per hour and 2 hours each time. The quantity is 835 customers. Variable cost is £2 per customer, and the fixed cost is $3,000 per year. Then step 2, we need to find our target answer. For break-even point is we are looking for how much quantity, like the quantity the company need to produce. And at this problem, we are looking for the number of clients that Jason needs per year. And step 3, we need to choose a formula. It can be a quantity where total cost equals total revenue, or total fixed cost divided by contribution. And here we will choose total fixed cost divided by contribution. Then we need to calculate the component we need, like cost, revenue, profit, or contribution. So the contribution is the price minus variable cost. Is 13 times 2 minus 2 equal 24. And the total fixed cost is $3,000. And step 5, we need to calculate it. So break-even quantity equals to like total fixed cost divided by contribution is 3,000 divided by 24 equals 125. And now I'm going to talk about the graph of break-even point. This graph illustrates the break-even point. And you can see the blue line shows the total revenue while the red line represents the total cost. We can see that the break-even point is at the intersection of the revenue and the cost line, which means that when total cost equals to total revenue. This is where the break-even quantity is. And before the break-even point, the cost is bigger than the revenue, and which means there's loss. And after the break-even point, the total revenue is bigger than total cost, which means the company is making the profit. And margin of safety is the difference between actual sales and the break-even output. As you can see on the graph, the yellow part is the margin of safety, which is the current sales minus break-even output. So question 2. The total fixed cost of producing product-wide is 200,000 per month. Contribution per unit is 10 pounds. Current sales are 90% of capacity. Monthly capacity is 30,000 units. Products-wide current margin of safety is. So we organize the information. The total fixed cost is 200,000 per month, and the contribution is 10 pounds. And the current sales is 30,000 times 90%. For margin of safety, we are looking for how many unit of output the company have. So it is also looking for the quantity. And we can choose a formula. There is only one formula. It's that current sales minus break-even point. Then we calculate our component. The break-even output is 20,000 and the current sales is 30,000 times 90% equals 27,000. And margin of safety is the current sales minus the break-even output. So it will be 27,000 minus 20,000 equals 7,000.
In the end, let's talk about some limitation of break-even analysis. Firstly, it is too simple and unrealistic. Second, it assumes that all products are sold and no inventories. If there are inventories, this represents that there are too many potential risks, such as the cost or whether the product will be sold or not. Third, the chart is drawn under a given set of conditions. It cannot deal with the change of conditions. This means that the market should maintain the same. External factors will influence the demand and supply so that the price and quantity will change. Fourth, the effectiveness of break-even analysis is dependent on the accuracy of the data. However, the data is hard to collect, and the accuracy might be one of the concerns. If the data is inaccurate, the analysis may be full of flaws. In addition, the total revenue curve and total cost curve show a nonlinear relationship. Since the price will be affected by the demand and supply curve, the cost and revenue will not remain the same as quantity increases. Last but not least, there is a multi-product business. If company sells more than 2 products with different prices and costs, it's harder to calculate the average cost of revenue. This is the end of our video. See you next time. 希望可以